Can I take a photo?
It's all front. That's all.
My name is Lauren Cohen. I'm a 5th grade teacher at PS 321 in Brooklyn, a member of More Caucus and Change the Stakes. And I'm here because I just see the resources and the time being wasted on tests that really don't reflect the way children should be learning and teachers should be teaching.
If people want to find out more about how to, I guess, get involved with the protests that are going on?
Yeah, they should go to changethestakes.org, morecaucusnyc.org is a caucus of the UFT for the Social Justice Caucus for teachers and UFT members.
Hi, my name is Kelly and I'm a District 2 parent, and last year my daughter was threatened with not being promoted due to failing the math state exam even though she got an 86 in the class overall. And I was told she had to go to summer school in order to be promoted. We opted out of summer school and she was promoted after retaking the math exam in August. And so my issue is just end high-stakes testing and use testing to evaluate where students are, what are their weaknesses, and then provide the resources to help them.
My name is Lisa North. I'm a teacher in the New York City Public Schools. I'm here because I don't think that high-stakes testing is the way to evaluate students, schools, and teachers. There have been no valid studies that have shown that you can evaluate teachers based on test scores or students. And I think time and again we've seen that some students don't take tests well, and we know pretty much that these tests are not really to evaluate the students because we don't really get the results. It's to evaluate their teachers, the schools, and really, unfortunately, are a way for big business to make a lot more money on these testing companies and the test prep companies and the publishers.
No, I was just finding out if anyone else was.
Right there.
No, it's good. Let us grow! We need to grow! My name is Aisha and I'm here because I'm a part of Student Union. And Student Union is a group of students who come together for the rights of the student body. And we're fighting for needs, flexibility in our education for the students, for the education to conform to our needs as a student body, because we're the ones receiving the education.
And there are these standards that are set up for us that are totally, it's insane, because it's like how many students are actually graduating high school because of the way regents are tied in with promotion policy. Nobody's questioning, it's really silent, we're really silent about it. 60% of students are not graduating in New York State. Which means that like 30% of Hispanic and Black youth are the ones to are graduating less than white youth. And that says a lot about how racist these exams are and how high-need schools, those are the students, 64% of those students from high-need neighborhoods, they're the ones that don't graduate. So this is something that we have to fight and also push for alternatives such as consortium high school. So right now we're campaigning and we're trying to push to build alternatives. We already have alternatives that exist. People have to implement them. We have to talk about them. We have to stop conforming to the standards that are being pushed upon us that continues to dehumanize us.
Exactly. We are being dehumanized. Like our education is basically just us as scores. All we work for is to pass a test. I'm not walking away from this topic with new information in my head. It's something that I'm excited about as a person, that I want to learn more about. It's just, I pass this test and I'm done with it. What do I walk away from it with? For what?
And the classrooms are centered around testing and not actually the student, which means that even schools, they're going to prioritize testing and not art or creative things that make us humans. That's not what they're going to focus on. They're going to focus on things that are making us robots, sheep, and whatever we are regurgitating. So the more you regurgitate, the better you're able to do that, the better student you are.
If you don't fit the corporate mold, then you're not going to be able to finish high school, basically, or even make it in life. So, I mean, what is our education? It's pointless.
It's not ours. So as Student Union, we're trying to reclaim community control over our schools, and we want to work with teachers and parents and more students. We want to have a base of students that are able to be empowered enough to reclaim their schools as well as the school educational system and have their voices heard.
And the human aspect of education, because it's not a human education anymore.
It's corporate.
My name is 268935673. That's my OSIS number. The DOE doesn't see me as a person. They see me as a number, as a test score, and not as a human being. So why should I recognize myself as a person? And after all, it's really not about me as an individual. It's about students all uniting together to do what they need to do in order to get the education they need. Because if we stand by and allow other people to fight our fight for us, pretty soon there'll be nothing to fight for. And we need to make sure that our voice is heard as students in order to get what we need. And what we need is critical thinking in our classrooms. We need to get rid of tests, which are horrible for education, and we need to have a future where students are respected as human beings, and where we can make the future that we need and work together to get somewhere that's better than this.
One thing that we've noticed as high school students is that the opt-out movement was very prominent amongst the K to 8th grade students, you know? And we're wondering, like, how come we can't opt out? And we realize that it has to do with promotion policy. And it's something that we have to figure out how to target, and we don't feel like we have the resources to get, like, lawyers and figure out all those nitty-gritty things. Like, it's not, our high school students, we cannot do this alone. But it's interesting because it's also like we have to be a part of this movement. We have to be able to not be subjected to standardization. We have to find ways to push for creative curriculum.
Because what do we do if we're not good test takers and we're not able to accurately like express ourselves on the Regents or any type of test? We need to have alternatives to that.
Like consortium high school.
Exactly, and yeah.
And the movement needs to have students in it right now, and that's not happening, to be honest. We need high school youth to also be brainstorming and visioning, creating their own spaces. Like, they need to be building their own units in their own schools. We don't have our own voices in school.
Exactly.
Everything is run by the staff. Everything is run by the DOE. It's very top down. Students are the last ones. They get the worst of everything. You know, they're the ones having to take the test, and then they're the ones getting yelled at every day. They're the ones that are forced to go to school. They feel like prison all the time. You know, they're building this prison culture of us being numbered.
Exactly, and like I see so many students, including myself, who lack the confidence because we're not engaged enough in the right way. We're engaged with a test, or with you're throwing this information at me as if I'm dumb. As if I don't have common sense and I can't put this together in my head. I need you to explain it to me through a test. Why can't I express what I learned my way? Like if I'm an artist,
Right.
or if I'm a writer. Maybe I'm not good at math, but I can show you how to do it in another way.
Right.
Like it's not helping.
And we're the now. We're not just the future. We have to really start focusing on the now, what we need right now. Not just these people have to become someone future on.
Yeah.
They're not meeting their needs. They're not, they're not good enough.
Yeah.
But we're just fine. It's just your standards are complete crap, and they're binding us to these chains.
Yeah. We need our education to finally benefit us. You know?
Thank you.